it's a playground.
I have been doing NLP with my clients and not even knowing
sure
it.
You have.
Because exactly, it's what's reality, what aligning to the divine, aligning to who we are, to our higher self. It's all there. That's really beautiful.
It's also, there's a lot to do with language and the way that you use language, and you can use it quite hypnotically. And you can use it to persuade others, as it's used in marketing and in sales. But I use it for the therapeutic context in order to expand someone's possibilities. And usually when someone comes to coaching or therapy, they have a great deal of limitation. And so
their belief is limited.
Absolutely. It's all about beliefs. That's the thing with NLP.
Yes.
It's the consciousness an individual's consciousness is made up of a sum of beliefs. Some of those will be very positive and some of those will be very limiting. And of course there's another consciousness which is like a spiritual consciousness as well. That, maybe you're not your body and that you're, an essence, or you're bigger, but bigger than just, or you're more than just head mind. Right. NLP is very freeing, and it's the study of possibilities and the facilitation of possibilities.
Right. Even us in our everyday life, we have moments of despair or suffering. It's just how quickly we know our belief system and can change and shift out of it.
Right.
And I like that. Now, here's an interesting concept, if I can ask you, and we can share back and forth here. You spoke before briefly about, if they want to sit in meditation or their thought process, that's fine with them. I actually encourage that, but for a limited time, not for an extended time. 20 minutes, 5 hours a day, 2 days max, and then you move on, depending on how much a person feels, I guess, the depth of their problems. Because I feel also that as an experiential work that we have to do in order to shift, that we do need to live within that space. It can be 5 minutes. It depends on the depth of what it is. If it's the loss of a mate, or if it's, we're talking about not frustration in the grocery store, or not frustration that I ate that spaghetti plate of whatever, or I didn't work out today. But if it's, recreating our life, or dealing with the loss of a partner or a family member or whatever it is, I believe we should honor ourselves with that sense, because it all becomes experiential, which is how we make those shifts and they don't return. Or we can go back and say, I remember when my father died and that feeling I felt, but you know what the glory is I now have the beauty of all the beautiful memories, and he's right here with me. So I don't have to suffer his loss because he's here.
Right.
That's just a brief example. So.
Absolutely. No, I love that. Yeah, and meditation is incredibly important because we're stilling and bringing ourselves into the here and now, which is where it all is. Can't get any better than the here and now. It's never going to get any better than the here and now, even though the ego will always think that tomorrow or the next moment is the best thing. So bringing yourself home is vitally important, and we will only feel home when we're actually in the here and now.
Right. I love that, because home is here within.
Absolutely.
It is within us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to ever live without other beings around us and sharing and giving, but truthfully, I think we could if we had to, because home is within.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, before you started talking about meditation, it may be that somebody has an awakening shift and they say, you know what, I need to go to Tibet for a year or two and meditate. Maybe. I had an ex who went to an ashram, and she stayed there for a long time. Can't remember how long it was, but it was a long time. Right. And she felt a calling to do that, and that was part of her journey.
I agree with that. When you said 7 years, I giggled, because Every year I take 2 months to meditate. I take 2 months because it realigns all my aspects of what, over my hard work, my being prolific within a year, I start to fade by the end of the year. And if I don't keep up on my minute-by-minute meditation and stuff, or my minute-and-minute alignment to the divine, which is who I am and how I speak, I love to take that time to do that. And sometimes the universe actually forces it upon me. And so now I just say, this is exactly what I do. Either in January or February, I'll take 2 months, and it's me. So I just like to honor that moment of meditation, no matter if it's when I go on a show, I meditate for a moment or two because I want to clear myself as a vessel. And people become fearful of the word meditation, especially when they're in a religion in the four walls, because they think that it's something not natural. When I share with them, when I've actually spoken to clergy people, it's just like picking out all the chaotic thoughts and making it clear so you can actually speak to the divine in the beauty, not begging, not pleading, but you're speaking and listening. You're listening. You're asking those deep questions. This time when I went into meditation, it was so fantastically beautiful because I had blocked out my childhood for so long, and I was like, I'm not going to deal with it. And then I started to deal with it, and I got into a relationship 2 years ago, and I thought, wow, this is really good timing. So I pushed it aside again, and during these 2 months, I went into meditation. Then I already had my questions out, and what came back to me was astronomically mind-blowing. So it can benefit us. Everybody's different because not everybody has to do that, but I cherish or honor myself to allow myself that space, and it's beautiful that your former person did the same thing for herself. And if it took longer than the norm, 6 months to a year to get over, it's something that her soul needed. And that's part of it, too. We have to listen to our soul. Our soul is here to teach us, teach the human aspect, because the soul knows all. And if we connect to that and we remember who we are, we're allotted that in that space of meditation and quietness and moments where we don't go out. And I've changed my life totally. I'm from the party girl to this, to enjoying... to just enjoy thinking and being philosophical, and even with myself.
Right.
So
through meditation, really?
Through meditation also. Well, I consider any type of meditation is so much. When I swim and I'm when I used to swim like a mile, I would get into a meditative zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I go on my walks, I meditate. And sometimes I'll hear Eckhart Tolle's stuff go through my head, and I'll just start crying because I'm looking at nature I look at things in a different light than most people, and I believe that as we become more conscious of ourselves, that our five senses are not the human senses, but it's a sense of the light is so gorgeous, and the color on the trees are phenomenal, and I hear the birds, or I hear the wind, and I hear the ocean, and the breeze on my skin I can feel, and I can smell the glory of what Mother Nature has created. And so it's really encompassing everything. And so everything can be meditative. I mean, just about. That's what I have been speaking a lot on lately, is it's not just in the traditional, stage like that. I never get into a cross-legged pose and do this for hours with my back stiff. I'm like flat as a board. I'll lie down and I either sometimes don't put on soundscape music or I do. And it's all getting in touch with listening to what my higher self has to tell me, what it wants me to learn, what it wants me to grow.
Right. Absolutely. And that can come while you're washing the dishes. That can
Exactly.
come when that can come while you're riding the tube. If you're closing your eyes and you're listening to the sound of the tube going past, or the train, it's it's actually so life becomes a meditation.
It does.
I started to crave more and more stillness and me time and alone time, and just a lot of solitude. So I began to expand my consciousness that way, and really appreciate the here and now and nature. And I get moments like that. I get moments where I get really overwhelmed at just how beautiful everything is, and it's like I'm thrown into the here and now, where things become more expansive than like it sounds kind of crazy, really, but it's like, look at this tree, or look at my car, look at the engineering behind it, and there's some moment of, like, whereas all that focus has been future-based or even past-based, but it's suddenly
it's a
much
huge
more
burst.
present.
Doesn't it feel like a huge burst of love? Sometimes you just totally get teary-eyed even. A girlfriend who I do business with, she's also a meditation coach, and she said, Mia, lately I cry all the time. She said, I don't know what is up with me. And she said that one of the doctors in a clinic that she does meditation for on the beach, she said maybe there's something wrong with my tear ducts. And I said, honey, it's that you're in tune with yourself more. You're enjoying the full essence of the divine, of who you truly are. That everything becomes now. The power of wow, right here, right now.
It's a symptom of spiritual awakening, actually, to have those moments where you start feeling more truly alive and living very presently. So tears can be a symptom of that, and often we think that it's is it a symptom of insanity? You know, what am I doing? But actually, you start to awaken to that everyone else really is insane, and that
we're all different. You know, they say there's
only. Of course,
absolutely
we are, but it's this again, this dropping of agenda where you feel sort of, you're not wanting to get anywhere, you're not wanting to impress anybody, you're not wanting to control anything. You're not to feel secure from something. You're just absolutely here, perfect, and that everything is perfect. Everything's perfectly unfolding.
Yes.
Everyone's perfectly where they are. Even the ones in suffering, that they're still learning. The ones who have died, they're perfect, okay. And it's not.
Yes.
It's everything. Just is this great thing of that. I'm just like almost like a pair of eyeballs looking out from space, looking back on just this growth and evolution and expansion. And with each age or year or each moment that passes, there's a greater expansion of consciousness within humanity,
it's beautiful.
And of which you and I are part of. And this interaction between you and I will have ripples in whatever effect, long after we have finished talking, and even in 50 years or 100 years' time, even if this video is long gone, the ripples of the effect that it might have changed within somebody through having some little light bulb moment or little penny dropping moment or something where they become more awake.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been beautiful.
Thank
I've
you.
loved it very much. And we'll see you all next week. I'm here with Daniel Hill, and our information will be on in the credits. Thank you so much. Welcome to Mia the Passion Muse Show. I'm Mia Sines Whitmore, your host, and joining me again is Daniel Hill. Welcome, Daniel.
Hi there, Mia.
Hello. So we spoke of
Like you're going to do that again. The big tail was there. I was going, I couldn't keep a straight face. Bless.
Oh my goodness. Okay.